Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Medieval Engineers. I'm the Radio Man 03. It is awesome to have you along. I am back from vacation. Well, I shouldn't say well rested. I'm actually kind of tired right now. I don't know why. I think it's because I just drove 8 hours to get home and, drove the whole way. So it just drains on you a little bit. But I'm ready to record. I'm ready to record an episode for you guys. First and foremost, thank you so much for taking the time to still show your support despite the fact I was gone for a whole week. And had no videos posted for a whole week. I thank you for that. Welcome to the new subscribers. It is great to have you on board. We're back to work on Medieval Engineers and the Morning Star Pass. Hope everyone is doing fantastic. We had a great time. While I'm hammering the walls, I'll tell you what we did. First night we spent in Barstow and went to a ghost town called Calico. They were having a Halloween festival there, so that was kind of cool to go see an old mining town. And then we stopped at a place called Peggy Sue's Diner that we had seen on a food show. And we went there, and it was not a good recommendation to go there. It was a filthy, dirty restaurant. It was just so dirty. It was pretty brutal, and the food was mediocre at best. So we did those two things while we were in Barstow. Thought we'd go see those. We'd already done the train museum that's there. Barstow used to be a big train hub back in the day. Huge depot, lots of celebrities and stuff traveled through there, and Barstow was a big stop for a lot of celebrities. Peggy Sue's Diner, she's got her picture in there with all kinds of celebrities, but that was definitely the heyday, and they've not kept the place up very good. So we were a little disappointed with that, but other than that, Barstow was a good thing. Day 2, we drove the rest of the way down to Long Beach. Those of you who don't know, I'm from Arizona, so we take I-40 over to I-15. We take I-15 down, and it's a nice drive. It's through the Mojave Desert, so there's not a whole lot to see, but I tweeted out a picture of the Mojave Desert today, and there's not a whole lot on the way back home to really see. But it is... it was a very fun trip. Okay, so let me get back to what we did day after day. So then we got to Long Beach, and we spent a night in Long Beach because we just love being in Long Beach. Long Beach is a really fun place to be. A large stone. We're out of stone. We're going to need some metal pieces, too, to get that door put in place. Oh, dear. No. We've had a barbarian. There's another one thumping around here somewhere, but he's not shown himself as of yet. I fully expect him to eventually. So in Long Beach, we stayed at a nice hotel. We thought we'd go ahead and splurge. We stayed in a really nice hotel. And I can get rid of that dirt right there. And wound up, there's like a marina, and it's got these shops all the way around this marina. And so we were going through the shops and stuff, and they had this place called Tequila Jack's, and it was a tequila bar. And I tweeted out some pictures of that. Those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, it's right there on the front page there. So you find my Twitter page right there. And so I tweeted out some pictures of us at the Tequila Jacks, and that was that was a thing. So we wound up trying out a few shots of tequila that we've never had before, and we were drinking different kinds of margaritas that they had there too. Wound up spending about 4 hours there and a whole lot of money, but it was just a really great time. This is going to be downstairs. Remember we talked about, real quick, we talked about having a butcher right here? I thought we'd use this area as kind of an area to put in some of Storied Past Productions. He built a few things that we want to put out here that are going to be on display. So as you walk through this area here, to the immediate left will be kind of a display area. Downstairs here, we'll have some storage. We'll have storage of stuff for the guy that works, the butcher, basically. And I guess, would it be just a butcher, or would there be another guy, the guy that would, tan the leather and the hides and stuff like that, and then they would sell it off as leather, and then, people would take and make clothes out of it, or water skins, or, shields and things like that. So I'm kind of picturing that that's what this kind of place is going to be right here. We're going to need a stone stair. We want a stone staircase in here. I think my hammer is just about shot. And we're going to put this guy right... Let's try it right here. We're going to have to go get a new hammer here really quick. So we did Tequila Jack's. Had a great time there. Just hanging out. It's kind of funny when you're on vacation. It's like everybody's your friend. And everybody's friendly with each other because everyone else is like on vacation too. I always think that if the world would be a perfect place if it was like you're on vacation all the time. Hammer, that's what we're doing. And so that's what it kind of felt like to us. We're just so many really nice people that we met. So that was a huge plus. Let's go ahead and melt down all these guys right in here. We've got a bunch of those. We've gone through quite a bit of iron in the last couple of builds. Beautiful. And then we might as well do that guy right there too. Yeah, there we go. And we're perfect. All right, and we're going to take this guy and we're going to put those in there. And we are going to make ourselves a brand new hammer. I just grabbed a little bit of stone. I didn't grab a whole bunch, so hopefully we won't run out. We should have enough because the second floor will be wood just like we've been doing so far. And it's going to be nighttime, so we're going to have to get... Oh, we're going to have to get... this is what I need. Standing torches. And we needed some metal pieces. I believe I've got metal pieces over here. We've got some metal pieces right there. Some sticks. Let's grab a few of those guys since we're almost out of those. And I think we're good there. Now we want the standing torches. Giovanni and Wasabi, of course, are very happy to see us back home again. They are all up in our stuff. They are like, oh, Mom and Dad, you're home. You're finally back. So they are really excited to have us home. And Wasabi is currently crashed out on top of the open suitcase in the living room. And Giovanni, he's just making sure we're not going anywhere again. So if I go out to the car to get something, he just sits by the door. Like, okay, you didn't go anywhere, right? You are coming right back in. I come back in, he's like, okay, this is good. This is good. So, yeah, it's nice to be home. We had a really restful time. We did. So that was it. That was about it. You know, prior to us taking the cruise itself was just kind of, well, that's what it was. We kind of hung out in two locations and decided instead of just driving over and jumping onto a boat right away, we would go ahead and kind of enjoy the trip over like we have done in the past. Now, from now on, we're probably going to go drive straight through and just stay in Long Beach when we take a cruise out of Long Beach anyways. Let's go G. Let's grab some of our flooring here. Day one of the cruise, Variety, I have to give her credit for the entire trip because she does all the organizing of it, and she always does a fantastic job with our vacations. They just turn out so fantastic, and we always have such a great time that, you know, I've got to give her the credit because I do nothing but say, okay, that sounds good, yeah, that sounds good, and that's all I do. The rest of it is all on her. She does a fabulous job of getting our trips put together. So she had gotten on the Carnival's website. I need more timber. On Carnival's website and had met a bunch of people prior to the trip that were all going to go on the same ship. So we wound up bumping into, that's not going to look good, is it, huh? These boards are going to go the wrong direction. So there was a few folks that had been communicating with her for numerous months. You know, Variety, our next trip is already scheduled. It's already planned. A year from now in November, we're actually going to go to the Caribbean. We've never been to the Caribbean, and we want to do that while we're still young and spry and can hoop it up and have a good time like we love to do and enjoy the Caribbean. So we're going to do that one next November, and two of the folks we met on this trip are going to book the same one. So it's really fun because she spends all this time getting to know them on Facebook and stuff like that. And we get on the boat, and it's like you've got this instant party atmosphere with this group of folks you've never met face to face, but you sit down with them and you just have a great time. So we met some really nice people on the trip, and it's the cruise ship that actually really gives you the feel of just what's the word I'm looking for? Where if the world was a cruise ship, we would be in a much better place today. We would just be in a much better place. This area here, I'm going to go ahead and have this end right over here. This part is going to end the sidewalk. Since we're kind of running short on time, I'm glad to see the update for Medieval Engineers didn't happen while I was gone. But I feel like we need to not cut corners so much as just get some things kind of taken care of before the update comes out, as we've been talking about in the last few episodes. I think I needed Z here. There we go, like that. Like that. There we go. Beautiful. And yeah. Let's do that right there. Right there. Oh, come on. Back you go. There we go. Perfect. So we get on, and of course, day one, we're hooping it up, having a good time, and the boat's just sitting there in Long Beach because everyone's boarding. And then at 5 p.m., the boat sets sail, and you do your muster drill where they talk about your life jackets and what you need and what you don't need and where you should meet, and this is what would happen if the boat were to run into trouble. This is what you need to do. Do I have a hoe on me? No, I don't. I do not have a hoe on me. Let's go ahead and get these guys set up while we're thinking about it, because the sun's going to be going down here shortly. There we go, and let's do this right here. And we'll put one right over here, because this is where we're going to be working too. Like so. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, perfect. Excuse me. My voice is a little bit shot. When you're on a cruise, you do a lot of yelling and hooping and hollering and having a good time, and that's what you're supposed to do. So we're sitting there on the deck, and we're having drinks and stuff like that. You know, all tropical, of course. Pina coladas and Miami Vices, and which is a pina colada and a daiquiri mixed together, and they're swirled together, and they're just so delicious. And we did that. We had some shots and stuff like that. So we're just having a great time, getting to know everybody. And then, of course, you do the muster drill, which kind of breaks up the whole party. But it's a serious thing. You got to go do it. You just got to go do it. You don't want to not know how to muster drill. That's for sure. Okay, I closed. And whoa! That was weird. That teleported me a little bit there. I've got more sticks over here in this thing here. We're gonna grab some sticks. So that's pretty much day one. Then, you know, you go eat and, you know, you hang out with everybody and stuff like that, and everyone's kind of exhausted because they traveled to get there, so you go to bed. And on Tuesday we wake up, and now we are docking at Catalina Island, just off the coast of California. So it's not like it's this foreign port or anything like that, but we love going to Catalina because it's just such a pretty place. So we go to Catalina Island, and we take a little walk, and we walk down what used to be a casino. It's a historical building and stuff like that. It's massive. Avalon is the name of the town. And so we do that, and that was really beautiful. We've done that before, but we never had walked down all the way to this historic building to take a look at it, and it's really it was really amazing. I was going to grab a hoe. You know what? I could do that later. I can come back and take care of the outside of that from above. So we're just going to put this one right back here, like so. There we go. Beautiful. And then just did kind of the tourist thing, you know, where you just, you know, you act like a tourist. You go see all the touristy type stuff. They got a bunch of shops in there and things like that. So this one needs to go. I believe I have to flip this one. No. Go on. There you go. A little rusty. Sorry, guys. A little bit rusty. There we go. Just like that. And we're going to flip this one as well. There we go. And we'll put a window there. Let's flip this one. And we're going to do number 7 right here. Like that. Okay. And back to a 5 here. And we'll flip that. R. There we go. And I'm trying to remember, it's better to place all these at once. That way you get your cross beams done the correct way, your struts there. So I'm trying to remember to do that. And I get excited sometimes and I forget. There we go, like so, and beautiful. And we're going to need more metal parts. So let's just go get those right now while we're thinking about it. We'll grab those metal parts. So Catalina Island, bought a souvenir T-shirt. I'm a kind of a souvenir T-shirt guy because it's something I'm going to use over and over and over again. Sometimes they just, it's kind of junky stuff, and it's like, why do I need these things? So I usually buy T-shirts. I think we bought a couple of shot glasses while we're there too. Just because we always have wanted a couple from there. Metal pieces. I'm in the wrong thing. I should have been right over here, right where the metal was to begin with. There we go. Craft and craft. We'll do 2 of those. There we go. So we get done with Avalon, and you have to tender a boat from the cruise ship to shore. So you take a small boat there and a small boat back, and then bam, you're back in where you need to be. So we did that. I got all those. I think we're missing one here. We are. I believe we're missing some up in here. We are. There we go. It's all coming together like just smoothness. Inventory, more timber. So we got back to the ship, and we had done. There was one bar at Catalina Island that was. Their special drink was. Whack your wiki. And if you whacked your wiki, you got a straw hat. So we did that because we had not done that before, and you'd see all these people walking around Avalon with these straw hats. And you're like, well, where'd you get that? Oh, we whacked our wiki over at so-and-so's place. Oh, okay. So bam, we did that. So we took care of that, and we had these new friends that we had met on the ship with us. And so we did that, and then what else did we do over there? We took a little walk out on the pier. Just checked out the boats that were in the marina, things like that. And we spent, I don't know, maybe 5-6 hours in Avalon. We jumped back on the boat, went back to the ship, got on the ship, and I think you have to be back on the ship by like 4 or 4:30 because then the ship takes off, and you don't want to miss your boat. Let's do this guy right here. Let's go ahead and take this guy right here, and let's go ahead and finish out the floor right here. So that was day 2, and then Tuesday night when we got back on after Avalon, that was the Halloween night, and I'm pretty sure I tweeted out pictures of Halloween night. I can't remember now if I did or not. There was a couple of times where I did not have my phone with me, and I wish I had had it because we had some pretty cool stuff happen. Let's go back to G. We're gonna need a staircase in here. Nothing too fancy with this building, but we'll have some fun with it. You need timber. Wow, we're just burning through the material like crazy here, aren't we? Oh, down you go. There you go. Over here. Boom. Boom. There we go. Perfect. Trying to see if we've got any barbarians up on the roof. It does not look like it. Looks like we're good. So the Halloween party, it was a party. A lot of people got dressed up. They did it different this time around for the costume contest. Last time we were on it and we had a costume contest, what it was is that you had to, of course, get dressed up and participate in the costume contest. But they took everybody that was dressed up in costume and you went into the main theater where they do their big shows on the ship. And you had to kind of parade across the, up on stage, parade across the stage and kind of show off your costume and, act a little something out or whatever. I'm always a zombie, so, I'm, my teeth and, all that good stuff. And this time they didn't do that. This time what it was the contest was, okay, so we've got so-and-so, and he's going to have, oh, man, you know what? I don't think I can have this door here. This window. Do I have room for stuff? I don't. Well, you know what? Let's try this out. Let's try it out. Inventory. We need some timber. Let's try it out right here and see what we think of it here. It's right inside the door, but there's room there, huh? Yeah, there's room. That works. That works right there. So this time it was one of the crew members that kind of does all the DJ party stuff, and he's got the ability to make music mix and stuff like that, something I could never do. He's in charge of picking out people that he thinks are worthy of being in the costume contest, and they're going to select 20 people throughout the night. Well, they picked me, and I was pretty thrilled about that. So I was like all excited about that. So and I think it was 10 or 10:30 that night. They had a parade of costumes. Those of us who got, like, you remember Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? That little blonde boy gets that golden ticket. He gets to go to Willy Wonka. Well, that's what they handed you. They handed you this big old ticket, and it's like, okay, you're a finalist, so come on down. So I went ahead and did that, and I was the last one in line, and you kind of start off above the atrium, which is the big kind of the glass room that's got usually a bar right at the bottom of it, and it's got some grand staircases and stuff like that. And you start there, and you had to walk your way down, and of course show off your costume, and the crowd cheered and stuff like that, and it was just really really awesome time. So we all wound up, which was kind of weird, but we all wound up winning. Out of the 2,000 some odd people that were in it, we all wound up winning. What am I trying to say? Certificates that said, we're the winners of the costume contest, which I thought was very cool. So yeah, I didn't take first or second place or anything like that, but I took top 20. Let's put it that way. So I was actually pretty really happy about that. It was a lot of fun. So we had a great time with that. That was costume night, and we partied pretty hard. Those of you who might be younger, sorry, but that's what we do. We party. So we partied pretty hard, and the next day was supposed to be, well, not supposed to be, it was. And Variety was quite a trooper because she actually left me hanging at the costume contest, and I went to go find her. She was dressed up like Raggedy Ann, and she had gone back to the room and conked out. So she was done for the night. She was just done. And She actually left her makeup on my pillowcase. I came in and she'd take her costume off and she was laying kind of catty corner across the bed and she had her face down and she was Raggedy Ann, so she had the rosy red cheeks. I'm poking at my face right now as if you could see me. And she's got the little black spots that make up the freckles on her. And she left that makeup on the bed, which is really on the pillowcase, which is pretty funny. I think I need to turn that one. I do. All right. How are we looking here? Yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. So that was costume night. Now, on Wednesday, we wake up, and we're supposed to be up by 7 a.m., and we're supposed to be going out on our deep-sea fishing excursion, which I was extremely excited about because I have never gone deep-sea fishing in my life. Biggest fish I've ever caught, and I like to fish, was a 4-pound largemouth bass at a place called Roosevelt in Arizona, Roosevelt Lake. And that was my biggest fish, so I was really kind of hoping I could beat that number. And so we booked the fishing thing through Carnival Cruise Lines, and the benefit of that is that if for some reason whatever excursion you're on does not make it back in time, Carnival will wait for you. Now, if you go on an excursion just randomly and you don't make it back on time, Carnival will not wait for you, and you will be that person running down the dock going, "No, wait for me," and they won't wait for you. You are just out of luck. You're stuck. What do I need? I think I needed some more metal pieces and probably timber, huh? Yeah, metal pieces and timber. So we did that. We went out, and you guys are probably dying to know what we caught. Well, I wasn't sure how this is going to work because I've never been on one before. But these guys, Benji was our guide, and he was amazing, absolutely amazing. Matter of fact, the entire crew was amazing. They all had their own personal character to them. If you know what I mean by character, just when you looked at them, it's like, you are, sir, a character. And I'm having a great time getting to know you on the boat. And English was kind of limited, but I'm okay with that. You know, I don't care. I really don't care. I have a good time no matter what. And I get to know anybody just about, you know, just chit-chat with them and find out what they like and don't like. And pretty soon, you know, you're friends. So they've got 4 poles rigged up on the back of this boat, probably a 35-foot boat. And we're going out of the marina at Ensenada, and we're traveling out into the ocean. And they're putting these little riggers out, and I don't know, maybe 50 yards behind the boat is where the lure is doing its bouncing. And sure enough, all of a sudden, they're like, fish on, fish on, fish on. 3 of the 4 poles start bending. So I'm like, oh my God, look at this. There's fish. And the one guy grabs the pole and sticks it in my hand. He says, catch it. I was like, okay. So I'm reeling it in, and I get it to the boat, and, you know, you just lift it up over the edge and drop it inside. Meanwhile, the boat's still moving, you know. And it's a bonita. I've never caught a bonita before. I've never seen a bonita before, except maybe on TV or something like that. And it was just amazing to catch something like this. It was beautiful. It was this beautiful fish. He wasn't very big. I'd maybe put him at a couple of pounds. But he just had these sharp, jagged teeth running through his mouth, which was pretty awesome. And then he had, just type in Bonita, I think is bonita, and beautiful black markings down his side, and just like a mean little fish. Like he would just tear up your world if you got too close to him, you know. Did I put the right window in here? I did. Okay. How about here? Yeah. Okay, we're doing good. Let's check this on the front real quick. I'm just talking and not paying attention really to what I'm building. I'm just slapping stuff together. So we get the bonitas, and everyone's catching bonita. There are 6 of us on the boat that are from the cruise ship, and then there are, let's see, there's Captain Marissimo, there was Benji the guide, the captain's grandson, whose name was Brian, of all things, Brian. There was Jose, and there was Raphael. Great cast of characters to be on this boat in the ocean. Going deep sea fishing. It was a really great cast of characters. I just I love these guys. They were amazing, just amazing. So we go further out, and now we're not. I mean, we're not far. We could see land the whole time we're out there. We could see land the whole time we were out there. And then they stop the boat. We run into these kelp beds where the kelp, the seaweed has broken free from the bottom of the ocean and has floated up. The water depth, I asked the water depth, and he said it was 120 feet deep is what we were fishing in. So we had stopped and picked up live bait. The live bait was as big as the fish they stock lakes in Arizona. The 9-inch trout that they stock in Arizona, the bait was that size. So now what they're saying is, okay, they go lines in. So everybody reels in their line, and we've got the lures out of the water now. And now what we're doing is we are fishing with live bait. Should I bring that all the way out? You know what? I'm going to do that. Since we've got this kind of a theme going on right here, let's do this right here. Let's do this right here, you guys. Real quick while I'm thinking about this right here. And I'll tell you what we're catching with live bait, because that was really exhilarating. It was just, did I catch a fish bigger than 4 pounds? I did wind up catching a fish bigger than 4 pounds. I think the biggest fish I probably caught, though, was maybe 10 pounds, which, I mean, you think about that being the ocean and stuff. Wow, that's not very big, but when you're reeling them up from the ocean, and these fish are just nothing but solid muscle, it is a tremendous amount of work. I don't know if you guys have ever gone deep sea fishing. I know Toshba, all he does is fish for big fish. Our friend Toshba here, he fishes for nothing but big fish usually. So I'm sure he can relate to this. But okay, so excuse me, let me get sip my coffee real quick here. I've got frogs in my throat and stuff. It's been a weird day. So, oh my God, that tastes so good. That's one thing cruise ships don't have, is good coffee. I don't care if you get it in the coffee shop or if you get it at the buffet. It's just not good coffee. It lacks a robust flavor to it, I think. So, okay, so now we've got this live bait on. Okay, we're doing the live bait thing, and it's just, it's amazing. These guys are baiting the hooks. You don't have to bait your own hook or anything, and they're dropping it over the edge, and they're like, okay, here, hold it. When you feel the bite, start reeling. So sure enough, man, I mean, it was not long at all. So look at this walkway we got here, guys. We got this alleyway that leads down here to what is going to be the butcher. How sweet is that, right? Right? I mean, come on, that's awesome. We're going to go ahead and fill this in with wood too right here. I think that would look good at the end of this walkway here, this alley. And now, what we've got here now is we have a lower display area and an upper display area with a balcony that leans out over the top. Let's go down below and take a look at this. So, okay, we've got this live bait on. Sorry, I keep ending my story. We've got this live bait on, and we're dropping it over the edge. There's 6 of us fishing, including the crew. They're the ones, kind of hooking the fish and stuff like that. All of a sudden, bam, all the poles are just bending over. And I mean, not just the 6 of us fishing. I'm talking about the crew as well. There's lines getting tangled, and there's fish down there. And you don't know what it is. And you're reeling, and you got this pole that's probably about 5 feet long. And I mean, it's got a solid rod to it. It's not a typical fishing rod that you would have a lot of bend when it happens. These rods are short and stout, and they bend anyways because you've got something there's something about the fish in the ocean where they've got just so much more muscle power to them, it seems like. So these fish are pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling, and we start to reel them up, and we're catching yellowtail tunas. Beautiful fish. This real sharp yellow neon tail with these ridges on their top and the bottom, just these little spiked ridges that go up and down, and then this beautiful from the upper part of their mouth straight back along their body. It's just this. It's a difficult color gray to even imagine, but it's this kind of a darker gray like this. It's just this beautiful gray, and then these yellow fins are coming off of it, and you got this yellow tail back here. Just a beautiful fish. So we're catching them like hand over fist. We're catching them. They're literally taking one off, and you are hooking up another one and bringing it in. Oh boy, inventory food. So this is all going on, okay? And then all of a sudden, boom, it shuts down. We've probably caught 15, 20 fish now. Boom, just goes silent, nothing. Captain Marissimo says, lines in. And we go back to the outrigger stuff where we've got these lines behind the boat with the lures on them, and we start catching the little bonita again. And then we get to another kelp bed, and this is an area that they had been to like the Monday prior to our trip. And they were talking about how they had caught 40 plus fish at this spot before. So what we did was we went out there and we wound up catching that many. But they took us out to the spot where they were last time, and sure enough, man, all of a sudden, every time you dropped a line in the water, you had a fish. You had a fish on, and it was just fantastic. One of you suggested that I do a different kind of roof, and I agree with you on that. We do need a different roofs, and I thank you so much for reminding me of that, because we do need to break it up a little bit. We're going to do wood again on this one. I'm going to go ahead and go with like this right here. I hope this works out for you guys. You guys like this roof. But it was suggested that we do a square roof instead of the typical pitched roof that we have right there. So they take us to the spot that they were at earlier in the week, and sure enough, as we're going there, if you couldn't tell, this was my favorite part of the whole trip. Not to mention meeting new people. That was just a ball too. I love meeting new people and finding out who they are and what they do and all that good stuff. Inventory. We got one left. Great. Holy cow. So we catch a few more bonitas. Okay, everybody probably catches one more bonita while we're trolling the water, and we all catch at least one more. We're actually managing to keep pretty good daylight today. That's nice. I thought for sure it was going to be gone quick, but it looks like it's going to hold out for us. Oh, you know what I did? I changed the daylight setting for the last episode so we could have a little more light while we were... I was doing the tour. Ah, that's what it is. I'll have to swap that back. Unless you guys are okay with this. I mean, you can see the glow of the town pretty nice, but we've got a little more daylight, so that's kind of nice. So we do that. We're catching more bonitas, and these bonitas aren't huge. You know, they're not big fish by any means. But you know, when you're dragging something behind the boat and you're trying to reel it in at the same time, it gets to weigh a lot. So we do that. They get us to another kelp bed, the place they were at on Monday. They lines in. You know, the captain would come out and ring the bell, ding, 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 and that meant lines in. So everybody would bring their lines in, and we would they would start putting live bait on again. And we probably spent another hour at this one location, and we caught fish like I could not believe. It was just amazing. It was so much fun. I was laughing so hard. Variety's arms got tired to the point where she could barely move her arms anymore because she just caught so many fish. And you know, these guys are pulling hard. I mean, okay, granted, I wasn't catching marlin or swordfish or anything like that, but I've never caught a yellowtail before. And these guys, when they're down there, they are pulling hard. And you know, you got the rod shoved into your just below your stomach, kind of into your hip, and then you're trying to I'm going to do this with my hands. You're pulling up with your left hand, and then every time, and then as you go down, you reel, and then you pull up with your left hand, and then down, and you reel, and you pull up with your left, and down, and you reel, and you just keep doing that over and over again. And then once the fish gets up to the top and they see the boat, they run. They're like, oh no, I don't want to go in there, and they take off running. And you gotta, you know, sometimes you gotta start all over again and bring them in. But oh man, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. Now, okay, so this goes on for, I'm gonna say about 3-4 hours. We do all this fishing, and we just have an absolute ball. Everybody on the boat's laughing. We're all having a good time. We're getting to know the captain and the crew, and everybody's just, you know, like I said, if the world could be a cruise ship, everybody would be much nicer to each other, and we'd all be just doing great. Z, there we go. And number 4, let's get up here. I'm gonna top this off. I believe is it this one here that has the little square? No, I'm gonna switch this out. They take and it's like, okay, we're done fishing, so everybody but Variety and I went on the front of the boat, walked this little tiny skinny catwalk up to the front of the boat, and sat up there with the tour guide. And I was like, I don't know, these guys are about to clean the fish and everything. I kind of want to see how they do that. So I stayed back there with them, and Variety was there with me, and we just watched them clean the fish. Well, then Raphael, he takes and cuts out this, and by the way, you guys, the way they filleted these fish so fast, it was unbelievable. It was just such a skill. So they've got Josito. I think it was Josito. It was like little Jose. He was just this tiny little guy, barely came up to my waist. He was so tiny, but he's got this big butcher apron on. Like to be honest, he was wearing an apron just like this. He was literally wearing it. And I said, oh, God, you're getting ready to cut up some fish. See. So he's cutting up the fish. And then Raphael is taking the same fish, and he's cutting off these really thin, just beautiful pieces of meat about the size of a strip of bacon. And almost a little bit thicker than that, but about the size of a strip of bacon. And he took those in the back, and he made ceviche, which is a raw fish. You take the fish raw, and you put it on a tray, and you add, let's see, what can I say here? That's gonna obviously some Mexican spices in there. You know, what would it be without some Mexican spices? And then to cook it, all you do is they had those little key limes. They would cut the key limes in half. He would squeeze that over these little thin pieces of fish, and just the acid in the lime would cook that fish just a little bit. And then he had it on a plate with a bunch of chips around it. Oh my God, you guys. Unbelievable. Never, ever have I caught seafood and then eaten it right after catching it. It was the most amazing experience of all time. And these guys, the entire trip, they made it extremely special for us, and I will never forget. Matter of fact, if we ever go back there again, we will take the same trip again. What do you got? What do we got here? What do we got? What do we have? And then Thursday was our day at sea and the drive back, the ride back to Long Beach. So we spent the day on the boat the whole day. And by the way, after we got off the boat, a fishing boat, our guide Benji took us to a nearby restaurant where they took the fish, some of the fish that we caught, and they made fresh tacos. Tempered the fish into taco shells. There was 4 different kinds of salsa: guacamole, sour cream, cheese, lettuce, cabbage, radishes, all across this beautiful colored table. And we dined on the fish that we caught. Amazing, amazing day. Amazing day. I should find out who that was and let you guys know. All right, so there we go. It's a little square, but we haven't decorated it yet. And like I said, excuse me, I feel like we need to keep moving forward here. So let me know if you guys have got any ideas for me. I don't know that I'm willing to bring this building out to the end of the sidewalk here, like we did with the bakery. I don't know that I'm up for bringing it out like we did over here. I like this, I do, but I feel like if we do this all the way down, it's going to be too much. So what I'd like to do here is finish this wall out with this ivy that we have. We still have some more of this ivy left. We'll bring this ivy down, finish this trim out all the way around it, and get a rail up here, and then have the rail kind of end somewhere up in here. Probably right here. And then I don't know if we'll do anything with this right now. This is just kind of the end of the street right now. We've talked about having a couple houses back here, but you guys really wanted to see. Some of you brought up that we don't have a castle. I know we don't have a castle. I know. I guess it was never a priority for me this season because we spent so much time working on the castle last season. Oh, now we got 2 deer over here doing this. Look at this. I bet I can stop them. There we go. Oh my God. Look at that deer. That is some deer. Oh, they're just crazy. All right, let's go up here. If you got ideas and suggestions, as always, don't be shy. What was I talking about? Okay, so we did talk about the fact that we want, I don't know if we need a castle. We've got such a castle-y looking place. I mean, we should have some place where the king calls home. I really can't argue that too much. We really don't have anything like that. Look at the crow's nest up there. Spectacular. So what we can do is, my suggestion, let me know what you think, is that what we do is we get started on this next. One of you sent me a wonderful pictures of a Polish church that was built inside a mountain. They were amazing pictures. It's a few episodes back. Check the comments. Amazing photos of the structural integrity, the carvings, everything else that was in this church was really amazing. And then what I'd like to do is on top of that, so let's say we've got our church going in here in the mountainside right here. Have a nice entryway out here. Nice entryway here. But then we do something with the castle in the background on the side of the mountain. I don't want to worry too much about security or any of that stuff because we're kind of nearing the end of the season. Yeah, it'd be nice to have catapults or trebuchets or things like that, or a wall, whatever. I would like to get just a building put up that looks like a castle, that this is where the king goes. If anything else, they could take the king, they could put him in one of these towers up here, or they could put him in this gatehouse right here. So the courtyard, you know, there's all these areas where you could take him and make him and the queen safe. And then some of you is like escape route for them. Okay, so let's pretend that when danger hits, boom, they take off. They're out of here. They get them out of here right away, and we don't have to worry about that. But this was going to be, this is going to be the path that leads up to what will be the church, the monastery, the kingdom, the castle, and stuff like that will all sit right here. And we'll do that. So I feel like that's the next thing we should do. We should make it short and sweet on here. If we still have time to come back and work more on the village, we can. But right now I feel like we need to take the next episode to decorate this place up and get it all set. Get this one all set and done, okay? And then what we do is we move forward to that large project, because that's going to take a lot. That's going to take a lot of episodes. What we're going to do is we're going to probably dig the church out first, and we'll take that stone. We'll put some stone holders up here that we can put stone into, and then we'll take that stone and we'll build it back into the build. Okay, but that's going to set right here. But I feel like we need to do that next. I really do. I feel like you guys want to see something like that happen. And if you think about it right now, we have a really... I think we've accomplished getting what is our village looking like a village. Let's go down here a little bit. We'll come down the street, and we should have 3 rows of buildings going on right now that you can see. I mean, if you look at that right there, I'd say, guys, we've accomplished what we wanted to in terms of making a village and how a village is going to look. Would it be nice if it came down here further? Yeah, but for all intents and purposes, we wanted to have a village. So we have a row of buildings all along the street here. We have a row of buildings right along the street here. We have a second street back in here, and it's all kind of tucked away back on the hillside. So I think we've accomplished our village. I really do. And so we can move forward with something a little bit different, and that would be the church / castle. We'll keep the king close to the wise men, so to speak, right? We'll do something like that. So let's go back up here, give this one more look, and we'll see what we think. You guys give me ideas if you got any. That would be fantastic. But this is the start of our butcher, and it's nothing to look at right now. We've got some decor work we've got to do, so give me ideas on that too. We've got some things we can put down. Like I said, Story Pass Productions had a really nice mod. Matter of fact, you know what? Before we call it quits here, let's go take a look at that real fast, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. That way you've got this in your head as well before you comment and stuff like that. I believe it's right here on the workbench. They're really nice. If we go down further here, we have... where is it? All this is Story Pass Production, the armor and stuff. We have the hide stretcher. We have the firewood pile. We have the tripod bonfire, stump stool, decorative log benches. We have these sort of things that we could put down there that could give that whole corner kind of a rustic feel to it, and have some fun with that. I really think we could have some fun with that for sure. And then when we get going on the castle and the church, I want to use another one of his mods that was really beautiful that he put together right here. This guy, the hearth fire. I love him. I would love to have like 3 or 4 of those in a row with seating on both sides, and that would just kind of heat the whole thing, or walkways on both sides of it. I think that could look really gorgeous going into a castle or a church or a monastery or whatever you want to call it. So we could do something like that as well. But we'll have some fun with it, as always, right? I mean, how can you not have fun? Medieval engineers, right? We're building our own kingdom, and look at this place. I took the pumpkins down. I left one pumpkin out. One jack-o'-lantern's still out, but the rest of them I took down. Halloween's over. By the way, I hope you guys enjoyed your Halloween. I had a great Halloween. And I hope you did too. All right, if you enjoyed today's episode, guys, do hit that like button for me. Comment, subscribe, and share. I'm the Radio Man 03. I want you to have an awesome, a fantastic, and a superb day, and I do look forward to talking to you again next time.